Beautiful homes from the 200s to the 800s. Amazing 55-plus lifestyle. Go to ValenciaFlorida.com now.
Shop Dream Mattress Studio this week for 20% off all Dream and Select Beauty Rest mattresses, plus 20% off all adjustable bases. And hurry in for dreamy savings on mattress doorbusters. They last. Only at Dream Mattress Studio at Value City Furniture.
America's joining you this Friday morning. Democrats set to finish presenting their case against President Trump. And we have breaking news on the coronavirus. More than 30 million people now on lockdown.
Coronavirus crisis. 33 million people across 10 cities go on lockdown as the death toll climbs in China, and health officials race to stop the spread. Here in the U.S., a Texas student in isolation, and patients in Washington, California, and Tennessee now being tested. The U.S. Senate about to receive an urgent briefing. Our team live both here and in China covering it all.
Trump's trial. Democrats set to hammer home their case in their final day of arguments after claiming the president put himself before the country and went after Joe Biden because of polls showing he was a threat.
Breaking news, a massive explosion in Houston, a building going up in flames completely demolished. Now fears growing of toxic chemicals in the air.
Taking the stand. Annabella Sciorra's emotional testimony accusing Harvey Weinstein of rape. Now Ronan Farrow, who first broke her story, joins us live.
Outrage growing after this student is punished at school, facing suspension for not cutting his dreadlocks. Now graduation on the line, what the superintendent is saying.
Serena shocker. The stunning upset knocked out of the Australian Open in the third round, while 15-year-old Coco Gauff soars over the reigning champ.
And Super Bowl secrets, what Shakira and J-Lo are now revealing about their highly anticipated halftime show. The new clues in these videos.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Hope you are well this Friday morning. It is a busy one. Let's take a live look at the Capitol right now. Democrats set to wrap up their opening arguments in the impeachment trial of President Trump today. But before that, senators are going to get an urgent government briefing on the coronavirus.
Yeah, concerns are growing now here in the United States. Several possible cases now under investigation, including a college student in Texas who just came back from Wuhan, China. That city and at least now 9 others are on lockdown as these cases are skyrocketing.
And here are the latest numbers. There are now nearly 900 confirmed cases around the world. At least 28 people have died. Marcus Moore starts us off from College Station, Texas, with more on that possible case there. Good morning, Marcus.
Michael, good morning. This latest possible case involves a student from Texas A&M University. He had recently returned from Wuhan and took himself to the emergency room after suffering from flu-like symptoms. And now testing is underway. Overnight, the race to stop the spread of the dangerous coronavirus expanding across the country. In Washington state, where the first confirmed case in the U.S. was reported, a man is still in isolation as officials scramble to reach at least 43 people he's known to have come into close contact with. Officials in California, Tennessee, and Texas now testing patients for possible infection.
This situation is evolving quickly, and I do expect more cases in the United States, as well as human-to-human transmission.
At LAX, where urgent health screenings were already underway, a passenger flying in from Mexico was placed in quarantine with possible symptoms. Now the U.S. State Department is issuing a travel advisory for China, urging Americans not to travel to certain areas due to the risk of the coronavirus, hoping to prevent travelers from bringing the virus back home.
Airport screening, it can be an effective measure, but it's hard with coronavirus just because it takes so long for symptoms to develop.
In China, unprecedented efforts to stop the disease that has no known vaccine or treatment. Over 30 million people and at least 10 cities are now in lockdown. Officials canceling the popular Lunar New Year celebrations and shutting down travel to and from multiple areas.
Quarantining a city of 11 million, as well as a couple of other cities in China, that's never been done before.
The virus has already spread to at least 10 countries, infecting more than 880 people and claiming the lives of at least 26. Urgent scenes at clinics across the globe and empty store shelves as people react to the global health scare that so far is showing no signs of slowing. And officials here in Texas are saying that the risk to the public remains low, but it will take a day or two for them to confirm if this Texas patient has the coronavirus. Cecilia.
Okay, Marcus Moore, thank you. Ian, panel is on the ground in Hong Kong this morning where they're racing to contain the spread as cases in the region there rise. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Cecilia. That's right. No signs the spread of this virus is slowing here either. All but 2 provinces in China now have cases. Pretty much the whole province of Hubei, which of course is the epicenter, is now in lockdown. That means all airports, roads, railway stations, buses and ports. That's around 30 million people effectively grounded. The Children's Hospital in Wuhan now making a desperate plea online for medical supplies, and scenes of chaos in other hospitals. And now we're hearing the authorities are racing to build a brand new 1,000-bed facility in the next 10 days. Meanwhile, the Chinese authorities declaring a grade 1 public health emergency in the country's 2 biggest cities, which effectively means that Beijing is now taking control of this crisis. So we're seeing movie theaters being shut. Even parts of the Great Wall are off limits, and Disneyland Shanghai is now temporarily closed to visitors.
Yeah, a lot of people there scared. And Ian, we're hearing now that just where you are there in Hong Kong, more cases have been announced.
Yeah, that's right, Cecilia. Just as we're preparing to come on air this morning, we know that there are cases in 8 other countries or territories across East Asia. But we're now hearing here in Hong Kong, authorities saying there are 2 more confirmed cases. And we've also heard that another case has been declared in Japan, where the patient came through the same airport that we travelled through this morning. We saw lots of people wearing face masks. Also, there were health checks being conducted by officials using these electronic thermometers. And a reminder, it's now Lunar New Year's Eve right now. That's why you've got all these beautiful lights behind me, and that means we've got as many as hundreds of millions of people now on the move, making this a whole lot worse for health officials. And look, we're using these protection masks when we go out. People are washing their hands, using hand sanitizer, avoiding public areas. But this is supposed to be a time of celebration. Think Thanksgiving and the holiday season all rolled into one, and people are having to take these kind of precautions. Cecilia?
Yeah, we want them to keep taking those precautions. Okay, Ian, thank you. George?
Okay, Cecilia, the latest now in the impeachment trial of President Trump. The House managers will wrap up their case against the president today after using the president's own words against him yesterday and taking on the president's argument by mounting their strongest defense yet of Joe Biden. Our senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce is on Capitol Hill. And Mary, the big question, are these arguments making any impact on Senate Republicans?
Well, George, I can tell you from spending time inside the chamber that many Republicans are paying close attention. They are taking detailed notes, following closely as the Democrats make their case. Now, some I've talked to, some Republicans say they are frustrated that they've heard this all before, but many Republicans admit the Democrats are giving them things to think about.
If right doesn't matter, we're lost. If the truth doesn't matter, we're lost.
Overnight, Democratic prosecutor Adam Schiff with an emotional appeal.
You know that what he did was not right. No Constitution can protect us. Right doesn't matter anymore.
A passionate conclusion after Democrats hammered their case for 8 hours.
When it came down to choosing between the national interests of the country and his own personal interests, his re-election, President Trump chose himself.
The Democrats zeroing in on the timing, saying Trump didn't start pushing Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden until 2019, right when the polls showed the former vice president was his biggest threat.
Those polls do show a powerful motive that Donald Trump had, a motive that he didn't have the year before or the year before that.
Trump's now infamous phone call with the Ukrainian president was in July of 2019, 2 years after Trump took office, but just 3 months after Biden entered the race.
Even President Trump knew there was no basis for this investigation, never once raised the issue. It wasn't until Biden began beating him in the polls that he called for the investigation.
Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia then set out to dismantle the White House's repeated allegations against Biden.
The allegations against Vice President Biden are groundless. There is simply no evidence, nothing, nada, in the record to support this baseless allegation.
Trump's legal team argues abuse of power is not a crime and therefore not impeachable.
The actions of the president do not reach that level. You still have to meet basic fundamental constitutional obligations, and they haven't.
But members of Trump's own defense team and his attorney general, Bill Barr, have argued the opposite, that you don't need a crime to impeach. Democrats even playing this old video of Trump's top ally, Senator Lindsey Graham, from the Clinton impeachment trial.
I think that's what they meant by high crimes. Doesn't even have to be a crime.
Democrats now have one more day to make their case. Some Republicans say they've had enough.
They start repeating themselves as if you could impeach by just kind of repeating the same thing.
But other key Republicans are listening closely. Senator Lamar Alexander saying the Democrats have done a good job presenting, and we have a lot to consider. Democrats now hopeful it's a sign they're persuading some Republicans to support their case.
Now it is up to us to do something about it, to make sure that this president cannot pursue an objective that places himself above our country.
Democrats now have 8 hours left on the clock. Then tomorrow, according to the current schedule, it will be the Trump team's turn. They will then have 3 days total to make their case and respond. But, George, sources tell us that they may opt for a shorter session on Saturday so they can make the bulk of their argument next week when more people are likely to be tuning in.
Okay, Mary, thanks. Let's bring in our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, for more on this right now. And John, we did see the Democrats yesterday really talk about Biden more than they have before because they want to take on the president's claim that he was pursuing corruption, not going after a political rival. And his lawyers yesterday suggested this could backfire on the Democrats?
Well, absolutely, because they think this is an opening. You can bet, George, that when the president's team comes to make their case, a big part of the case will be to eviscerate Joe Biden, to take on Joe and Hunter Biden. They believe that in making this defense, the Democrats have basically called for this. So you will see the president's team say he did nothing wrong. Even if he did what's alleged, it's not impeachable. And then a bulk of this presentation to be taking on Joe Biden.
And Mary just said, we think now this session is likely to happen tomorrow, but the White House has been kind of all over the map on that, even suggesting at some point that they didn't want to meet on Saturday at all because no one would be watching.
Yeah, the very latest I have on this morning from somebody close to the president's team is that they expect that they will be in session on Saturday. It'll be short, probably a couple of hours, and they will wait till Monday to make the bulk of their case.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. I know you'll be joining us for our live coverage of the Senate impeachment trial. I'll be anchoring with our political and legal team starting at 1 Eastern this afternoon. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. And now we're going to the rough winter weather. Moving in for millions as we head into the weekend. It's bringing snow, rain, and ice from the Midwest to the Northeast, and Ginger has all the details as usual. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you. This time it's a ½ inch of ice in Arkansas, taking down those power lines. Really stunning to see there. And it wasn't just in the Ozarks, but all the way up to Kansas City, where the public schools this morning are closed. So you're seeing why. The roads are messy. From there to Minnesota, this is Clearwater, Minnesota. So near St. Cloud, the spinoffs, and you're going to see more of this. And I'll show you where. Chicago is one of those places I want to really alert you to, because if you have flights later this afternoon or tonight, you could end up with 2 to 6 inches. So northwest suburbs, say Fox Lake, you're going to see the heaviest of the snow. The wraparound goes all the way to northern Missouri, but it's the heavy rain and even chance of thunderstorms. Today in South Carolina, you could see a brief tornado. Tomorrow, the heavy rain moves all the way, Cecilia, right here through New York City.
Oh, it is rough out there. Okay, Ginger, thanks. We're going to turn now to that breaking news in Houston. Take a look. A massive explosion completely destroying a building there. This footage catching the moment that it goes up in flames. Our station KTRK's Courtney Fisher is live on the scene there with the very latest. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning, Cecilia. Ceilings of homes caved in, walls cracked. Look at this, windows blown out. Those are blinds and shattered glass on the floor. We were actually inside some of these houses. Firefighters came by with axes telling us we had to get out. It is not safe to be here. We're going to cross the street and kind of bring you around so you can see, though, inside these houses some of this damage. Look at that. Boards everywhere. And then over here where those firefighters are, this car actually just drove out of this garage. But inside that garage, You can see there is just sheetrock is down, pieces of insulation everywhere. Right now, no reports of any injuries, but we have seen ambulances and firefighters, vehicles kind of streaming out of this neighborhood. We're still trying to figure out exactly how that plant exploded. Still a very chaotic scene out here. We'll send it back to you in New York.
We are certainly hoping everyone there is okay. Courtney, thank you so much. Also this morning, new developments in that case involving Michelle Carter, the young woman sentenced to jail for urging her boyfriend to take his own life. Now she's waking up free, released early. Gio Benitez has this story.
This morning, 23-year-old Michelle Carter, who was convicted of manslaughter after prosecutors argued that she urged her boyfriend to take his own life, is out of jail 3 months earlier than expected. Her belongings carried out to a waiting SUV, her parents inside the vehicle. Carter was sentenced to 15 months, but less than a year after her sentencing, she was released on good behavior. In 2014, a judge determined that then 17-year-old Carter caused 18-year-old Conrad Roy's death when she ordered him in a phone call to get back into his parked truck. He had rigged the truck to fill up with deadly carbon monoxide. The court also saw text messages where Carter encouraged Roy to follow through with his plan to die by suicide.
She used Conrad as a pawn in her sick game of life and death.
Carter will now serve 5 years of probation.
And the court also ruled that Carter cannot profit from telling her story. And we want to make sure you know this morning that if you or someone you know is struggling, make sure to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number's on the screen right now, 1-800-273-TALK. It is just so important.
A very important number. Thank you so much for sharing that, Gio. And we're going to switch gears now and turn to all the action at the Australian Open. Coco Gauff soaring past the reigning champ just hours ago, but it was a tough loss for Serena Williams overnight. Knocked out in the third round, and Paula Ferris has the latest.
Overnight, a shocking upset. Serena Williams ousted out of the Australian Open in the third round.
I just made far too many errors to be a professional athlete today.
Her loss paving the way for a possible new queen of American tennis.
Tonight, Chrissy, it's just Coco the composed, stays cool as her opponent melts down.
That's just tough. You don't want to lose to a 15-year-old, you know?
15-year-old teen phenom Coco Gauff upsetting world number 3 and Japan's Naomi Osaka.
Just telling myself 1 point at a time and just keep fighting because you never know what happens on this court.
On the men's side, this ball girl got the surprise of her life after Rafael Nadal's return struck her in the side of the head. Nadal quickly rushed over to her to see if she was okay, even giving her a kiss on the cheek. After the match, the 33-year-old tweeted a picture saying, "So happy she is well after the scariest moment I've had on a tennis court. Anita is a brave girl."
Nadal cruised to victory in straight sets. As for Coco Gauff, yes, she's just 15 years old. She's still in school, taking online classes. She said after the match she has some homework due, but her teachers are giving her an extension due to the circumstances. Understood.
She deserves that.
As they should, yeah.
Thanks, Paula.
Okay, thank you. Also this morning, we want to honor Jim Lehrer, the journalist and writer who anchored PBS NewsHour for 36 years. He was a consummate reporter, careful interviewer who earned the respect of his subjects, like President Bill Clinton, who presented Lehrer with the National Humanities Medal and tweeted overnight, "His life was a gift that strengthened our democracy." Lehrer moderated a dozen presidential debates, more than anyone else.
When the debate is over that I moderate, I want everybody to say, okay, here you have seen and heard the candidates for President of the United States on the same stage at the same time, talking about the same things, and you can judge them. You know, is he telling the truth? All that kind of stuff. Well, you can't, and you see them right there together. It's a huge test.
And you know, you heard right there why he was chosen so many times. He was a scrupulously fair man, and he always made sure to make the debates about the candidates, not himself, and also just a really gracious Southern gentleman.
Such a crucial part of our democracy.
He sure was.
It really was.
We are following a lot of other stories this morning, including those new developments in the Harvey Weinstein trial, some stunning testimony from Sopranos actress Annabella Sciorra, and Ronan Farrow, who broke her story, is going to join us live in a minute.
And the high school student facing suspension if he doesn't cut his dreadlocks. But first, let's head back over to Ginger.
And Sherman Pass, Washington State, more than 4 feet of snow since the beginning of the year. And by the way, flood alerts are up. Olympia has had more than 10 inches of rain, which is above average. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the weekend getaway, sponsored by Audible.
This commute's been pretty rough, huh?
It's great, actually. I've been listening to Audible. It's audiobooks, news, meditations. Gotta go.
You know, I do think it's weird you've started commuting when you work from home.
I'll be in my office.
Download Audible and start every day off right.
Cloudy skies this finally Friday. You're waking up and stepping out the door to temperatures in the 30s. By lunchtime, still cloudy in the upper 40s and high temperatures today in the lower 50s. We are tracking rain, but leave the umbrella at home today.